So my essay is about the transformation and modernization of Quebec. The Quiet Revolution was when Quebec went through significant political, economic, and social and cultural changes from 1960 to 1970 after the death of Maurice Duplessis, who was an anti-communist that heavily supported the Roman Catholic Church. Once Duplessis died in 1959, Quebecers elected Jean Lesage as Quebec's new premier on June 22, 1960. Lesage wanted Francophones to have complete control over their province because Francophones could then revolutionize Quebec to how they wanted to be, without relying on external factors such as the Catholic Church and the private companies. Lesage's goal was recognizable from the Liberals' slogan, "It's time for a change." To achieve his dream, Lesage implemented many policies to promote the modernization of Quebec, such as creating the Hospital Insurance Act in 1962. Due to the rise in secularism, the advancement of Hydro-Quebec, and the creation of the Ministry of Education that the province went through during the 1960s, the Quiet Revolution significantly transformed and modernized Quebec in a rapid, unexpected manner. The rise in secularism had an enormous impact on Quebec during the Quiet Revolution because it caused highly influential religious beliefs and teachings to diminish. Before the Quiet Revolution, the Catholic Church had near complete control over the French-Canadian lifestyle. The Catholic Church controlled many things in Quebec, including education, healthcare, and the political system. Thomas Chappé, a Quebec politician, supported and declared his opinion on the idea of the Catholic Church being able to control the lives of French Canadians in 1905. A non-Catholic Canadian Francais is an anomaly. A Canadian who is no longer Catholic after having been Catholic is a monstrosity. However, once Lesage was elected, the Catholic Church lost complete control because he knew Quebec needed to be revolutionized and be more independent. One of the best examples of this removal of power was the Hospital Insurance Act. Quebecers effortlessly accepted the creation of the Hospital Insurance Act in 1962 because it provided affordable health care for everyone, which later became free under Lester B. Pearson's federal government. Previously, health care was only available to wealthy individuals under the influence of the Roman Catholic Church. In addition, modernizing healthcare greatly impacted Quebecers because Quebec's birth rate drastically decreased due to the introduction and availability of birth control pills and the removal of being pressured and controlled by religious beliefs. In fact, Quebec, the province with Canada's highest birth rate, dropped from 4.2 births per French-speaking woman in 1961 to 2.3 births in 1971. Quebec's birth rate would continue to decline throughout the next 2 decades. Furthermore, secularization played a significant role during the Quiet Revolution because women gained more of their rights due to the removal of the Catholic Church. For instance, the Civil Code of Quebec was created in 1964, which allowed women to be more independent and free from their spouse. Through the Civil Code of Quebec, women can now open bank accounts, take out loans, and sign contracts such as employment contracts without their partner's knowledge. The rise of secularism also played a prominent role in enhancing Quebec's economy through modernizing and diversifying it beyond conventional industries such as non-renewable natural resources. The advancement of Hydro-Quebec had a substantial impact on the modernization of Quebec's economy through self-reliance, economic development, and environmental benefits. René Lévesque, Lesage's Minister of Natural Resources, announced that Hydro-Quebec would have complete control over the water resources available in Quebec on February 12, 1962. Lévesque declared this to increase the availability of electricity throughout Quebec, as he had no faith in private electricity companies to complete this action. Electricity was fundamental for Quebec and needed to constitute a well-integrated asset. The unification had to be achieved by Hydro-Quebec. Lesage also supported Levesque's idea and accepted this change after winning the provincial election on November 14, 1962. Electricity is the key to a modern economy. We want to make it a keystone to administration where after so many generations we will be masters in our own home. Soon after John Lesage's cabinet accepted this change, Hydro-Quebec started to buy out multiple private companies and distributors. And by 1963, the company bought out all of them for more than $600 million. This was a big deal because this was the first time that Quebec had complete control over one of their biggest natural resources. As the company started to have complete control over multiple water resources, the economy developed as Hydro-Quebec started to complete several large-scale projects to increase and develop its hydroelectric infrastructure. This created several jobs for Quebecers to help build hydroelectric power plants, dams, etc. In fact, when Hydro-Quebec went through major advancements, the company's employees increased from 8,900 to 14,000. Moreover, Hydro-Quebec gave Francophone engineers the chance to manage a hydroelectric project in 1960 in Caroline, Quebec for the very first time. The significant changes Hydro-Quebec went through had a major impact on Quebecers because not only did the company provide the most affordable energy, but it also provided them with a clean and renewable energy source that drastically reduced greenhouse gas emissions, unlike fossil fuels. Since Hydro-Quebec could not have done all of this without the help of Francophones and Quebecers, the company had to give credit to where it was due, which was the creation of the Education Ministry. The creation of the Education Ministry had a remarkable impact on the transformation of Quebec's education system, because it provided education for everyone, regardless of race, religion, and social status. Before the Quiet Revolution, not many children went to school because it wasn't really accessible to everyone. And parents thought it was an unnecessary thing to live a normal life. Juliet Gagnon, a teacher, stated how no one in rural areas care about education as much as people in urban areas do. People said that to pick up rocks and work the land, they didn't need an education. However, once the Ministry of Education was created in 1964, many children were allowed to attend school with a new and improved education system. The government also created financial assistance programs, and students finally had the chance to receive scholarships, bursaries, grants, and loans to help pursue their studies in post-secondary institutions. In addition, more modern and useful fields of study were available in university, such as the ability to study in the fields of science, engineering, and business. This change persuaded young children to continue their education to get a degree because they believed that these new fields of study would get them a high-paying job in the future. Due to the significant changes in the education system, many children from across the province started to attend school, which statistics proved. From 1960 to 1970, 19% more 15-year-olds, 33% more 16-year-olds, and 32% more 17-year-olds started to attend school. Claude Brolier, a college professor, was shocked to see the increase in students attending a high school in Montreal, which was where he started to teach a few years ago after the creation of the Education Ministry. Not only did the Education Ministry help promote Quebecers to attend school, but it also promoted the province's cultural identity, such as by promoting the French language. The French language was promoted and protected because this was the only default language used in schools, which the creation of the French Language Office reported in the early 60s. The extreme transformation of the education system helped modernize the courses schools had to offer, helped young students develop a brighter future, and helped protect the province's culture and identity. In conclusion, the Quiet Revolution was one of Quebec's most significant revolutions, since it updated and improved the province's rule of thumb within a short period of time. Even though secularization, Hydro-Quebec's growth spurt, and the Ministry of Education's origination revolutionized Quebec, several other factors contributed to the province's extreme transformation as well. One of them was the creation of festivals and events to popularize Quebec's cultural identity. The Quiet Revolution had a major impact on Quebec through the abolishment of religious practices which stripped the Catholic Church's obsessive power, the advancement of Hydro-Quebec, which brought the province's economy to the next level, and the establishment of the Ministry of Education, which modernized and made education accessible to everyone. No one can deny the fact that these intense political, economic, social, and cultural changes that occurred during the 1960s were the major reason that Quebec is what it is today.